trying to be natural and funny and all that, but we're not there yet.
Hello, welcome to Whiskey Advent 2020. We're the Barbers.
Hello.
Today's day 17, and we are back to Scotland for today's pick. We have chosen Springbank 10. This is, I believe, what, the third Scotch we've done? We did Speyside, we did Islay, and now we're on to Campbelltown. Campbelltown is a pretty small region, and they currently have only 3 working distilleries. They used to have around 30, but their industry declined at some point. So the Springbank distillery is owned by, who is it? J.A. Mitchell and Company. And so they own 2 of the 3 distilleries in Campbelltown. They own the Springbank distillery, and they own the Glengyle. Oh, there's so many Glens, it's confusing. They own the Glengyle distillery, which produces a whiskey called Kilkerran. Springbank produces 3 whiskeys: the Springbank brand, Hazelburn, and Longrow. Springbank is their medium peated, Hazelburn is their non-peated, and Longrow is their heavily peated. They kind of pride themselves on doing the whole process from malting the barley to bottling on site. I believe they're the only distillery in Scotland to do such a thing. And most of their products are aged in ex-bourbon and ex-sherry casks.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Yeah, this particular Springbank 10 is the 2019 version of Springbank 10. Let me make sure that's correct.
What, do they etch it in the bottle?
They do. They etch it in the bottle at the bottom. And so when you're buying a Springbank and you want to know which year...
Do other distilleries do this? Or
I don't know.
Oh,
it's on the back here. It is definitely 2019. And the 2019 Springbank 10 is widely considered one of the best whiskeys from that year. So that's why we put it in the collection. I love this stuff. Campbelltown region has a very distinct flavor, but it's not overpowering like Islay's, and it's not sweet and like the Highlands and the Lowlands and the Speysides. Not nearly as peaty as the island regions either. So it's just got a very distinct, weird kind of flavor.
A funk. And
I absolutely love it. And it's close to the island of Islay, but it's this little peninsula, and it's, like she said, it's only got 3 distilleries. I've had the Glen Scotia and also the Springbank. We own several different Springbanks.
Yes, they do a 10,
15, and 18.
And 21.
Ah, yes.
Do we have the 21 as well?
We have the 15 and 18.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think the Springbank 10 is my favorite of the 3.
It's possible.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we get to tasting?
Shall we? We shall.
A sweet metallic on the nose, just a kind of a brightness.
Getting banana. Getting some maybe green apple and like an almost like a motor oil type essence. Aroma.
Getting a little orange, like a marmalade. And I think on the website they say pear.
Oh, yeah. I can see pear, yeah. Actually, and orange marmalade. And all that funky motor oil type, I don't know what else to call it. This is kind of distinctive.
Very complex. A little bit of oily. Finishes pretty long. Gives way to a lot of bitterness and barrel and char. And just a hint of peat, not much.
Yeah, not much. It does have some interesting flavors that I haven't noted in the past few scotches I've drank.
Very much pear, but like a fermenting pear. Like turning is not quite there, but it's good. It's pleasant.
Not good enough to eat, so we just,
Yeah, definitely pear. And maybe that's the alcohol in there that's kind of mixing and making that kind of fermenting flavor.
And I think I can get like a fig or other sort of date, dried fruit kind of notes.
It reminds me of dried like orange candy, like this, like shaped like an orange, but it's not really an orange. It's sugary.
Oh, it's really sugary.
Yes.
I hadn't had that in a million years. But I can see like the orange, really sweet sort of orange marmalade-y, sugary thing.
Like a gummy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
really
kind of growing on me.
Yeah.
Because it's just, you're sitting and thinking about it because you're like, what is this I'm drinking? It's very interesting because it's different than other things.
Very.
And pear, golly. I may not have pulled it out, but since you mentioned it, pear. And I can't recall another whiskey I've had where I've noted pear.
This is really good.
So it makes me think, would it go with blue cheese?
I definitely think so.
Because pears and blue cheese.
Yeah, I think this would be a great thing to put with some cheese and kind of have a little night of it.
Indeed. Yeah, see this to me, I think something we were drinking the other day, shortbread or chocolate or dessert, but this calls for some cheese.
Yeah.
This cries cheese.
I can definitely tell why this is one of the best whiskeys of 2019.
It's not boring.
Definitely not boring. Generally affordable, if you can find it. Springbank is, especially this Springbank 10 2019 was really hard to find. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The 15 was also hard to find, and the 2018 was very hard to find. And I just kind of happened upon it.
Didn't you get one that was like super dusty and had been like,
yeah.
I don't know, on the back of a shelf somewhere? Yeah. No one had noticed it.
Picked up a good dusty.
Good dusty for a good deal, I think.
Yeah, so for scotches, about $60 to $70, which is not bad considering tariffs and other price hikes and such things. So
he's got to mention the tariffs.
Got to mention the tariffs.
And I would say, in your whiskey collection, I would have a Campbelltown. Now I haven't had the other Campbelltowns, but
I think you were pregnant last time I had a Campbelltown.
Probably. Too much of that.
This is good.
Very, very unique. Very interesting. I'm curious. Do you know if like Longrow or Hazelburn are readily available, or?
I think so.
Because see, now I'm interested. I want to try the other ones.
They're just kind of hard to find. They're not rare by any means, but they just, the liquor stores just don't have it.
Okay.
Too often. So you have to go to the bigger ones that, bring in a lot more.
Okay.
So. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.